Good morning, everybody. It is Friday morning, February 3rd. So I have a video that I want to do specifically on twin flame energy. Some of you will know what that is, some of you will not, but the point I want to make is that is something that I understand or feel that certain couples will be coming together right when that event that we've all been waiting for happens. And I feel like I got some news yesterday from a friend of mine that gave me a little bit of hope. So, if you are a twin flame, you will totally get what I am saying. If you are not, this will not resonate, but that does not mean what I have to say isn't as important, because it's just one more sign that things are about to draw near to the end. So my understanding is, and there's like lots of stories, just like there is for everything, 15 different theories on everything. So I'm taking what resonates with me, because I feel like I was one of those people that was potentially a twin flame, or in that category, because of a specific person that I had met back in 2017 that was the cause of my major awakening, because I definitely would not be who I am now if it hadn't been for that person. And so for a long time, I would watch these twin flame videos trying to figure out what was going on. I got a very good grasp of the balance that needs to happen between feminine and masculine energy within individuals and within couples. And my understanding is that there are certain, and you can call them power couples if you want to, I don't know, certain couples that will be coming together and here to help take us into new earth. And one of the things that has happened is basically, it's like they come together and clash. And when I say clash, it's one of those instant soul recognitions. But for whatever reason, they have not been able to come together as a couple, because somebody had to grow up. Both of them had to grow up. Both of them had to get their shit together. And so it's like they'd come together, then they'd go apart, come together, go apart. And I got a message from a friend of mine yesterday, and we bonded back in 2018 over twin flame stuff, because I understood what she was talking about and she understood what I was talking about. That feeling of that one person that just like rocked your world and threw you into a tizzy at the same time. So she had sent me a message yesterday and said that he had come back into her life with a different energy, with commitment energy. So at this point in time, we're kind of trying to decide if it is a false start or if it is like a significant, he is back with meaning. But that is something that I have felt for a long time, that a lot of those twin flame couples would probably, both parties would be off on their path, learning their lessons, getting awake separately, and then coming together when they are fully awakened to do whatever to take New Earth into where it's going. So if her situation is any indication, then it's possible that we are very close to the end. I'm not experiencing anything like that on my end with any of the masculine energies in my life, but that doesn't necessarily mean anything. So one question I have is, do you have, not necessarily are you a twin flame, but do you have any one in your life that maybe struggled with one of those type of relationships, that has recently sent you a message and said, oh my God, you are not going to believe who just reached out to me. Oh my God, you're not going to believe I just got an apology from so-and-so. Oh my God, because that is some of the signs that that energy might be coming together. Now, also on that same subject, individual energies, awakened people tend to have balanced masculine and feminine energy. Um, I really liked, well, you probably can't read it because it's backwards, but it's by Rebecca Campbell, and it's called Rise, Sister, Rise, a guide to unleashing the wise wild woman within. But the main thing that I got out of this book was she had a list of what it looked like to be out of balance feminine and masculine energy. And when I read that, I was like, oh my God, now I understand why I always felt lopsided, because I was very heavy in my masculine energy and spent the majority of my life work, which tends to be a masculine energy. And so my feminine energy was kind of very lopsided on that. Interestingly enough, when I took the job that I have now at the title company, that is when I feel like I got kind of locked into place in the balance of my life, because I didn't have to worry about money coming in, because it was the first time in my life I had basically had steady income. And that allowed for me to kind of put that work to bed. Although I worked a lot while I was there from 8:30 to 5, I didn't have to think about that 24/7 like I had for all my years before. And then my intuition started coming in even more, because that was kind of balanced out. And then, of course, intuitively, that started rising up. My past life readings and my quantum healing sessions that I did brought that intuition up even higher. And intuition is one of the things that the feminine energy has very strongly, that we as females have been waiting for the men to kind of get that into place for themselves. So it is a fine balance. And it is, it is something that some people will work on their whole life, and some people have had it for a long time. But like I said, I know I was out of balance for God. I mean, I've been working this job for 3 years, so I finally feel like I kind of locked into balance 2020, right before COVID hit. So anyway, I just wanted to throw that out there, that if my suspicions are true, and the twin flames that have been separated for years and years and years are starting to come together, then that is one more indication that we are about ready to flip this shit that's been going on and move on to the next phase of whatever is going to happen. So that for me was exciting news, because I could tell by her words something was different in a good way. Also, I want to point out something in the air and the energy has shifted at my work. In January was very slow. The phones were slow. We literally had one closing on the last day of the month of January, which normally the last day of the month or the last week of the month is when most of the closings happen. And February 1st, it was like the phones were really busy. We had more closings on the 1st of February, the 2nd, and today we've got like 6 closings. So something happened. It was like a switch flipped on February 1st, and everything got like really busy all of a sudden. I'm taking that as a good sign, because it kind of feels like something has lifted. I don't know what. Maybe you people that are more into astrology than me knows, did something go direct, or I don't know, whatever, that shifted some sort of energy. And then one last thing before I go. So yesterday, I leave at lunch at 11:30. There was a closing that came in at 11. They were still there when I left for lunch. When I got back, the agent was gone. I don't know if I can't remember if she was the buyer or the seller or what, but the gal that had come in to close it was still there. And she was talking about, the agent was like aggravated that this particular buyer, I think it was a buyer, I don't know, whatever, it doesn't matter, that she was frazzled and making mountains out of molehills and stressed out about real estate and everything. And the closing agent had made a comment. She's like, she has a $3 million home, and she's buying all of these investment properties, and it was like they were kind of baffled why she was so stressed out and why she seemed so ready to just have a complete meltdown at the table. And I was, again, I feel like I'm having that conversation I did with the copy repairman about his daughter. I'm like, just because people have money in the world does not mean that they are not affected by all of this shit that's going on. So to me, and I guess this is the epiphany that I had, is, to me, that is a good sign. When people are acting like that, to me, that means their intuition is kicking in, and they are telling the intuition is telling them something is wrong. And they're not handling it at this point in time very well, because they haven't quite figured out what's going on. It's something inside of them that is bugging them. And so if you see people like that, that is definitely a good sign. That means something inside of them is waking up. That's my opinion. If you've got a different opinion, feel free to throw it at me. But I mean, those that are kind of numb to the world and don't seem to be affected by what is going on are the ones, to me, that are in that bubble of, I'm just going to pretend like nothing's happening and not even remotely awake. And the ones that are being affected emotionally are the ones that the egg is cracking on the outside, and they are starting to feel something shift inside of them, and they're having a harder time keeping it together. So I'm taking that as a good sign that people are starting to crack, and that means that they're probably going to start coming out of that bubble of being stupid, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, I think that's it for now. I will talk to you later, and have a great Friday. Bye.